Join me as we talk all things true crime.
Made contact and shattered.
The missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in about that the mother has went through a wall, came home, now they can't find her.
Chad, where are Lori's kids? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say?
4 were stabbed multiple times and were likely asleep during the attack. Some had defensive wounds.
Most of them had just like one that was the lethal stab wound.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Once I told a lie, and I told my family, I had to keep lying.
What's your, is it deemed?
We haven't cleared anybody.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for another ATS News live stream. Friday nights were designated for Gypsy Rose videos that were released in the FOIA request, but as soon as the Nancy Guthrie case happened, we've been doing our updates on Friday nights unless there's breaking news, like she's been found or there's been an arrest made, etc., then it would be different. So thank you for joining us for tonight's Friday night Nancy Guthrie discussion. I want to pull up a few different things tonight. They're going to consist of recent articles as well as JLR's live stream that's going on right now and previous call-ins from his live streams over the week that I found interesting. Just some stuff we're going to bounce around looking at. So let's start here. This came out today. Sheriff in Nancy Guthrie case says of kidnapper, we believe we know why he did this. So the Sheriff Nanos did a interview with, I believe NBC was the first ones to break it. Now, we all know that Savannah Guthrie's, oh wait, first off, I did want to do one other thing. So obviously, I've been down a few rabbit holes, and one of the rabbit holes that I've been falling down are the Epstein files, and I just want to lay it out there and make sure everybody knows that it's something that I think needs to not go away, and for everyone to remember, we need arrests made in the Epstein situation, and just want to share some memes each time we go live to remind everybody that we're still waiting for an arrest in that. Okay, so again, I'm going to be doing that at the beginning of all my live streams until there's an arrest made, because I'm just like, what the heck's going on? So it says, Sheriff in Nancy Guthrie case says investigators believe they know why they did this. As the search continues, I'm just going to read the article because they have this like as captions. A new interview. So do you guys think it's weird that NBC is like breaking the news too? This isn't from NBC's. This is People did their own, but it's the same information. I know Savannah works there, but I don't know. I'm curious if you guys think that's weird or not. The Arizona sheriff investigating the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie said in a new interview that authorities believe they know the motive. This is a quote from the sheriff. We believe we know why the kidnapper did this, and we believe that it was targeted. But we're not 100% sure of that, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos said in an NBC News interview published on Thursday, March 12th. Authorities believe Nancy was taken against her will from her Tucson, Arizona home in the early hours of February 1st. The Arizona sheriff investigating the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie said in a new interview, which he has not come out and done a public presser in weeks, probably close to a month at this point. 1 second. I have to like keep drinking and stuff. I've had like a sore throat the last 2 days. So bear with me because there's going to be a lot of reading. So I'll have to take a minute. Hang on. But hi, everybody in chat. I see you guys coming in. Paul, Adrian, Shay, Diva Girl. Good to see everybody. In the NBC News interview published on Thursday, March 12th, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos shared more about the investigation as the mother of Today co-host Savannah Guthrie remains missing. And now this picture right here brought in another question of mine. I understand we don't have a clothing description. We don't even have a clothing description of what she wore over to her daughter's house that evening, Annie. And by the way, Brian Enton, this is coming from my moderator. I'm sure you guys might have heard it too. Brian Enton said this week that Annie's car is still impounded. So just going to lay that out there as well, because that's something which I don't understand, all the false information that goes around in this case. It's like crazy. I think some stuff is being reported as factual, and even in chats and on social media. And not only are they rumors, some of them are getting confused with things that like psychic mediums are coming out saying. Like somebody was stating something earlier in JLR's call in, and he was like, and where are you getting this information? And she said so and so, and he's like, oh, the psychic medium. And she's like, yeah. But it's like that's the thing, is like, that's not real confirmed information. Not saying it can't be true. I'm just saying, like, I've seen it for a while. It's been kind of okay in the matter of misinformation on social media with this case. Like it's kind of been a community that really is trying to get like the facts out there and trying to iron things out. But within the last like few weeks, I will say there's been, because no information coming from authorities is fueling speculation and rumors online. Unfortunately, like it's at that stage. Where are Nancy's glasses? Like I said, I understand that we never got a clothing description, and she was in her pajamas likely or something like that. But just to kind of paint the idea, because some people are like, did she answer the door in the middle of the night? Did somebody lure her out there, like at the door? Like, I don't know. Where are her glasses? Like they said her purse and everything else was left behind. I'd like to know the details on the glasses, and I haven't heard anybody talk about them or anything like that. So this is a quote from Nanos. We believe we know why the kidnapper did this, and we believe that it was targeted, but we're not 100% sure of that, Nanos said. So it'd be silly to tell people, don't worry about it, you're not his target. You could be. Don't think for a minute that because it happened to the Guthrie family, you're safe. No. Keep your wits about you. The sheriff declined to elaborate further on a possible motive, saying, I think it's come out from day one. I think day one we had some strong beliefs about what happened, and those beliefs haven't diminished. He added, I'm not going to get into those theories. We have our beliefs. Everybody has theirs. So in case you guys were hoping to get some clarity from the sheriff this week, no, not happening. Nano said investigators remain hopeful that the mixed DNA found at Nancy's Tucson, Arizona house will lead investigators to somebody, quote, somebody. The search for Nancy is nearly in its 7th week. 1 second, guys. Like I said, I don't want to like clear my throat and stuff in the mic, but I haven't been 100% this week. So if I'm congested a bit, sorry about that too. The FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department have pointed to surveillance footage that appears to show a masked armed person tampering with the doorbell camera on the morning of her kidnapping, February 1st. That suspect has been described by FBI's Phoenix office as male, approximately 5'9" to 5'10" tall, and average build. In the clip, the person is wearing a black 25-liter Ozark trail hiker backpack, per FBI post on X. In a statement to People on Thursday, February 19th, a spokesperson for the Pima County Sheriff's Department said investigators are looking into the possibility that the person may have had an accomplice. The Pima County Sheriff's Department and FBI were recently seen canvassing the neighborhood. And there's been like electricians and stuff like that out to Nancy's home, like doing work on the roof. We're all like confused about that. Several neighbors said investigators asked whether they experienced any internet service disruptions the night Nancy went missing. NBC's Liz Cruetz reported on the Today Show on Friday, March 6th. Nanos confirmed in Thursday's interview that investigators were looking into possible internet glitches. The sheriff department had previously requested Ring camera footage from local homes. In a video posted on Instagram on Tuesday, February 24th, Savannah, 54, said her family has been fearing for Nancy and aching for her, and most of all, just missing her. She said the family has donated $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The FBI's reward is $100,000 and it remains active. Now, they did say that Savannah donated $1 million to the reward too, but that's not on here for whatever reason. Now, it gives the number in case anybody out there is listening, 1-800-CALL-FBI. Or you can call the sheriff's office at 520-351-4900. I want to share something that Brian Enton posted today as well. So I'm going to pull that up, and then I've got other things to share with you guys too. Hi, Debbie Fox. Good to see you. Yeah, hit that thumbs up, please, everybody. And everyone else who's here. Jen, I see you. So this was today, day 41. Like, I never thought on day 41 we haven't gained anything. Literally nothing.
Guys, so it's day 41 in the search for Nancy Guthrie. I'm actually in Nancy's neighborhood right now. I'm just cooling down in the car. It's really hot here today in Tucson. But some new information. This is according to ABC News. They say that they have a source that reveals that the FBI has recovered additional images from cameras at Nancy Guthrie's home. Remember, we knew that they were able to get the images and video from the front camera, but apparently they are now also gathering images from other cameras at the home, according to ABC. These images were recovered in recent weeks from motion-activated cameras on the swimming pool, backyard, and side yard. They were unable to recover video footage, but they found reduced-size small thumbnail images that were captured when the cameras were triggered by motion, but that the cameras recorded nothing suspicious, according to the sources for that ABC News has. So it's interesting. A lot of people were wondering, would Google be able to go back and get the images from the other cameras? And apparently not the full video, but they were able to find the thumbnails. Right now they're saying nothing suspicious, but you never know, something in the video may help. So I got a couple things I'm working on today here near Nancy's house. I'll keep you guys posted. Guys, so it's day 41 in the search for Nancy Guthrie. I'm actually in Nancy's neighborhood right now. I'm just cooling down.
Okay, and then did you guys hear about the old episode of the Today Show? So we watched one from a couple years ago on my channel, and then we've also watched one that she recently filmed with Savannah in November. But there was another one that surfaced. Did you guys hear about it? Where it says today footage shows, so it was aired on the Today Show, abducted Nancy Guthrie making her bed in Arizona home. Did you guys hear about that one? So I want to pull that one up too. And then I'm trying to see what else I have here that I want to pull up. And then I also have something that says the blood evidence hints she was wrapped in something, an ex-FBI agent claimed. So that article is there. Yeah, so I guess and did you guys also hear on JLR they found tan pants? Where should we start? Let's start with the tan pants. So this was found by people, YouTubers, just circling the neighborhood. I also want to check in with the live stream too and see if anything's going on in JLR's world, because he is still out there streaming. Let's see. I think he might be taking
all the
calls.
places that Savannah around here kind of went to and try to go that route, or they really think someone from the Mexican restaurant could have done this?
Who knows?
Okay, so he's taking a call. They're referring to the Mexican restaurant. So we watched the episode of the Today Show last week where it aired in November. Savannah had her mother and Annie on the show, and they went to local areas. And one of the places that was aired on the show was this local Mexican restaurant. So people are wondering, did that expose Nancy to, being out there, like for the public to know, like, oh, wow, this is she lives in Tucson and her daughter is all that money. Like, you know what I mean?
It sounds like they're grasping at straws, but maybe they've got some other reason for that. You know what? I thought it would be fun, JR, if you would feed me questions from the chat. So, again, I'm Quentin Schultz. My students have always called me Dr. Q. They kind of enjoy that. And so I often go by that. And I've got a website and YouTube, a couple of YouTube channels and stuff, write a lot of books. You go to Amazon.
Okay, I don't know. He's like, this caller's talking about his Amazon book. Let's see what we got, though, as far as these pants. So this was found in the wash near Annie Guthrie and Tommaso's home. So I know people are very much like, no, leave them alone. They've been cleared. The sheriff came on and cleared them. And then there's also people out there that are saying they still have Annie's car impounded. Why are they, still holding her car if they're cleared? And other people have said things like, I don't trust the sheriff Nanos, and if he's saying that they're cleared, then I don't believe it. FBI hasn't cleared them, and the federal prosecutors hasn't cleared them. Other people are saying we believe firmly in Ashley Banfield's source. And Ashley Banfield, of course, is the one who put out there that the prime suspect was Tommaso, the son-in-law. He's also the last person to have seen him. So just want to lay all that out there. This was found near their house. And a knee brace apparently was also nearby, and they didn't touch it. They took photos and they called it in to law enforcement. And I also have the part where like JLR is talking about it on his live stream. So this was earlier this week. So I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Catch Valley fever.
So it's actually in Arizona in a bunch of desert areas, but it gets knocked up in the dust and it's carried. It's just a fungus that lays in the dust. So,
man, I'll tell you,
yes.
I woke up with vertigo the other day, wheezing. I still cough a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, when you started talking, I was like,
I don't know.
I need to talk to him about the fungus first.
All right, so wear a mask.
I want you guys to all wear masks.
We have to wear masks. We're told that valley fever exists in Arizona. Once you catch it, you have it for life. It's like HIV. You
have to wear what?
Yeah, it becomes latent, but it can show up later as different illnesses.
Valley fever. We gotta wear a mask. So what is it? A fungus in the desert terrain in the Washington?
Yeah,
okay, I don't know what he's talking about here, but hold on.
Waiting for authorities.
They're waiting for authorities to come and grab the tan can.
Sweeney 2222. Thank you. Very grateful. Thank you. I believe the case will be solved. But when is the question?
I thought it would be solved by now. I don't know where you guys are at.
Might be able to share a clue. Is the pants hers? I would say it's more likely not, but see something, say something. You never know. You never know. Anyone else have anything to say while we're here? While we wait, Sharon wants to.
It's interesting too because
Sharon,
we don't have a clothing description. He's about to show something of those pants looking like ones that maybe Nancy owned herself. She also had problems walking, so we don't know if the knee brace is tied to, we don't know. But this was turned in to authorities. We don't know how long they've been out there for.
I just found out that Nancy didn't work a knee brace. She had knee replacement surgery in the past. Sharon says she had knee replacement surgery. She did? She did? Sharon had knee, or Nancy had knee replacement
I am
surgery?
too.
We spoke to you before, Sharon.
It feels very botched. Like the whole investigation feels very botched. Like, remember when Brian Enton was just filming the front porch and like that's how we got the images of the blood out there?
Hi, honey. How are you?
This is where they
I'm
found
fine.
the pants.
JLR investigates.
The tan pants were found near Annie and Tommaso's home. So some people believe, I don't even believe she made it home. Well, we don't have proof that she did make it home, but at the same time, you know, where is this Uber driver that drove her over to Annie's? Like, obviously, they must be protecting his identity. And, you know, I would hope to God that they've interviewed him. But, like, I'm just very confused about the Uber driver. And I guess they would have forensics from Nancy's phone, probably traveling from her place to Annie's and all that. So, but again, you can move a phone and the person not be with the phone, you know? Just laying that out there. Did she go in the Uber to Annie's and never come back, really? I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Diva. Thank you. Like, I'm trying to iron out this case the best I can every time we go live on it. And I'm like, we should know this information by now. Like, we should know the location of Nancy's glasses. You know, were they sitting by her bedside? Because we've heard time and time again, people say she was ripped out of her bed in the middle of the night. You know, so where are the glasses? Other people have said, did she try to answer the door? So, like, would she have put her glasses on? Were the glasses found in her place? Like, and it looked like a struggle broke out. Like, we don't know anything. And that's the thing, too, Johnny. It's like, if the whole Uber thing is a lie, you know, that would be kind of stupid because it's like, well, we need proof of the Uber, basically.
Yeah, I know.
So, you're saying Nancy had...
Yes, I just looked it up on Google, and she had knee replacement, and she did wear a knee brace.
Well, Exploring with Jim found a knee brace down there.
I know, that's why I was letting you
It's
know.
right here.
Yeah, I know. It's too much of a coincidence.
I don't know. What do you think about the pants? Seen the photo I shared before with pants? Maybe not those same pants, but I mean, this could be females' pants.
Yeah, it seems like in a lot of pictures you see Nancy in, it's like the tan was her color. She wears a lot of tan. And didn't they say that they found a floral shirt?
Neat said, I think she made it home. They said they have recovered additional footage from the house. I wonder what that is. Right. Yeah. I hope, like, why can't we see that footage? You know what I mean?
There was a blue shirt at the beginning stages that was in front of her house that was used for the dog scents.
Right, just like that.
But it would look like the picture of the blue, kind of like the blue shirt she's wearing with Savannah.
Exactly.
That same color.
Okay, and I have a question.
Sure.
On Tomato, why hasn't he spoke out if he's innocent? Why hasn't he spoke out in his statement to plead for his innocence?
Don't know. Only he knows.
Isn't that kind of weird? Because if it was me, I'd be letting my words out. I am innocent. You got the wrong person. You did the wrong idea. You know, I did Google that, and she did like a...
And yes, I brought up the Epstein files. You're right. So you guys, that's on topic. You're good. And hey, Roxanne.
She had knee replacement, so she wore a brace and used a cane. So, yeah.
Well, I appreciate the input. Thank you very much, Sharon.
You're very welcome. Stay there in case the sheriffs come. And
Yeah, or Jim will hold it down.
Okay, please don't leave until we find justice for Nancy. Bring Nancy home.
Bring Nancy home. Thank you.
God bless. Thank you.
God bless. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye.
Bring Nancy home. I don't know. What do you think? Pants.
It is sort of weird that there's just random pants out there. Like, I get it. Trash gets, like, left places a lot. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Nothing burger? So, yeah, here is the article from this week also. So this is the Daily Mail, but I know it's been shared other places. This came out this week too. Everybody needs to know. And you can see an older photo of Savannah and Nancy. Of course, there's an ad. But yeah, I thought that this was interesting too, because we've looked at other footage in regards to the Today Show and when Savannah had her mother on there.
Hi, Savannah.
So the whole thing about looking at this stuff is just like how when we looked in the November episode that just aired with Savannah and Nancy, is how out there they might be putting personal parts of their life that could possibly make Nancy a target. That's the whole kind of concept in reviewing this type of stuff. So they went, to her place here, apparently. This is her house that they've lived in for years and years.
Hi, Mom. Good morning. Hi, Savannah. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Mom. Good morning,
I see that you've already made your bed, even though it's 3 a.m. there or whatever.
Exactly.
Mom, why was this an important skill to teach me? Well, I think everybody needs to know how to make a bed. And so when the time came to teach you guys how to make a bed, this is what I tried to teach you anyway.
Now, this is not just your standard bed making. This is the hospital corners bed making. We're talking you can bounce a quarter off of it, right, Nancy?
Natalie, don't put me to the test. It's way too early.
She's backing off.
Nancy, I just want to know how difficult Savannah was when you tried to teach her this, how much screaming and stomping her feet was involved.
All 3 of the kids thought it was a really worthless skill.
Oh, yeah.
If you're craving a flavor-packed burger,
I think that was like the end of the segment. Unless they show more after this ad. This is the one we watched last week.
Mom.
This is the one that was just aired in November. And people are like, did somebody at the restaurant pick up on a celebrity's mother living nearby? Did somebody see the episode and decide this is a crime of opportunity type of thing? Like, that's where this footage kind of comes into relevance.
You guys came here in the 70s and you had been moving all around. What made you want to stay in Tucson and plant roots?
It's so wonderful. Just the air, the quality of life is laid back and gentle. Yeah, I like to watch the javelina eat my plants.
But the best thing about Tucson is coming home and
Yes.
seeing you guys. Should we raise a glass? Prickly pear margarita? Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Love you.
Love you.
And she says like the name of the place, Prickly Pear Margarita or whatever. chilling resurfaced today's show footage showed the inside of Nancy's bedroom where investigators believe she was abducted 6 weeks ago. 84-year-old mother was abducted from her $1 million Tucson home in the early morning hours of February 1st. No suspects have been named, and there are no arrests in over a month-long investigation. A clip from the 2013 show shows Nancy, then 71, giving Savannah and her Today Show colleagues a tutorial on how making the perfect bed from inside that very home. And then it just quotes her what she was saying in the video about it. That's her standing in her bedroom. The point is, you can see right into her bedroom. Generally, the way it was and the way it was set up. And she lives in the same house alone. Her dog just died as well. Remember that aspect. FBI agents were once again canvassing the neighborhood. So here's the thing. They're always talking about canvassing the neighborhood and stuff, but those pants and stuff were found. Like, yes, they were found near Annie and Tommaso's home, but I don't know. They don't live that far apart from each other. Their journey back on Tucson Street comes as Sheriff Nanos has reportedly cut the number of agents assigned to the case, and no new definite leads have come forward. Nanos has admitted that his deputies are still missing key points of information, you think? But they're definitely closer to getting a suspect, he told NBC News. I've said this from the beginning. I have full faith, full confidence they're going to solve this, he said. We've also heard that in the Summer Wells case. And how many years was that going on? Still no arrest or suspect? The United Cajun Navy offered last week to assist in the search, but Nanos reportedly declined their proposal. Investigators have previously released... Hold on, let me switch up the screen so that we can see some live reporting, and I'll just read this from my own screen. I'll pull up our stream. He's taking calls still, I believe. So hold on, let me refresh this so we can get it live. Okay, yeah, he's taking phone calls. Oh no, he's talking to people there.
Strategy, but and that's like there's certain things that like I'm fine with them not releasing stuff. Yeah. Now it's we as the public, you don't have a right to know. Yeah. I'll let you know if I were there. I'd let you know it's going to help the investigation, and I'm never going to put anything out that's going to hurt it. You know, and that might make media mad and the public mad, but that's just because I'm only advocating for the family. Yeah. It's all about the victim and the family, nobody else. I don't care who's mad at me, gets mad over that, and if you do, that's a you problem.
Well, last question, and maybe we got more.
I got one more.
Yeah. How do you, because to me.
Okay, I'm going to pause and we'll get back to finish this article about the bed episode of her bedroom. Investigators have previously released footage of the masked man at the 84-year-old's home prior to her abduction. Guthrie family is offering $1 million reward. Everything else is pretty much stuff that we already know. So that was the end of that. Let's hear this.
In this kind of situation, they're going to tell people how they got in the house. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't they at this point, maybe not right away, but 40 days in, hey, the guy got in through the back door. Why is that being held out? Like, that's an important piece.
Because
and I'm just looking at your comments. Debbie says, agree, ATS. She was very open on where she was and where her house was, the family home. Mm-hmm. And there was something I saw, analyst came in. Okay. I don't think she made it home. I believe she was taken from Annie's or fake distraction from Epstein and hopes to stop talking of it. I don't know. And I know that you were also saying that by airing her personal information, like where her house is, what restaurant they visited, and stuff like that in Tucson. All that might have been done deliberately to kind of be like, come up with a reason, like, yes, she was very much out there publicly of her life and it made her a target, and sort of like too obvious type of thing to you, if I understood your theory correctly last week. That's kind of like deliberately done.
If I'm interviewing someone,
I'm open to all theories still, guys. I really am. I'm thinking that this was a kidnapping that went wrong. Like, I think that they intended to get some money with their, and another thing, the ransom notes just suddenly stopped. Like, TMZ hasn't reported new ransom notes. Like, that's also very weird to me. I don't know.
I'm gonna question them in a way that I'm not gonna tell them everything I know, and I want them to try and incriminate themselves on something. So the more little stupid details like that, like he got in, who cares how he got in?
Yeah.
That matters when I'm questioning if I have a suspect. Because if I make
Apparently, this is former law enforcement.
like, no, I didn't, and you talk about the front door versus the back door versus a broken window versus whatever coming down the chimney. The more they know, the less effective I could be as an investigator when I'm interrogating somebody. And that's why, like, people think that matters. They got inside. It doesn't matter whether it was forced entry, whether it was not. And I'm not going to say which it was, because my people were going to question that person. They need that. That's like kind of it's in their back pocket to use when it's time.
How do you think the perp got it?
I know there wasn't forced entry.
It wasn't? You don't think it was forced entry?
No. Whether the back door was open, whether she opened the door for him because of something they said, or just an old lady, like, not even thinking about it, like, oh, open the door.
And a lot of people are thinking that too, which is why I said I'd like to know where exactly her glasses were. Because did she need her glasses to get from her bedroom to the front door? Like, say oh, I hear somebody, oh, maybe Tommaso and Annie forgot something or something like that. You know, again, this was very early morning hours. They're saying like around 2 something in the morning. So I don't know, but I would like to know the location and how often she wore her glasses.
Yeah.
But, or more likely, I think probably something was left open and something didn't go right at the front, so they went around.
I also think more than one person's involved, and I wonder if they had made entry while she was at Annie and Tommaso's. I don't know.
Back and a slider was open or something.
Do you think Nanos is out? He's gone from this? Do you think he's gone, or is he going to survive this?
He can't survive this.
He can't?
Unfortunately, it's Pima County. He might, but he can't. I'll start for the good of the department. More importantly, for the good of this community and all of Pima County. The people who supported him a week ago, how do you get behind and say, I support this guy who lied under oath, this guy who lied about his personnel record? If nothing else, when it comes to cops, you got to have integrity. Everyone's made mistakes and did shit. Who cares? You talk about it, you move on. You don't get to do what he's done, especially in the last week, and survive that. If he does, it's going to be, this is the tip of the iceberg as far as shitty police work goes if he sticks around for people in the county. Because no one, and within the agency, no one supported him prior to this other than, the 15 or 20 people in his circle. And there'll be more information coming out Monday or Tuesday, just from the unions, from Aaron specifically, with things that are rolling.
Things are happening. Oh, things are happening next week.
We hope. We really
Popcorn
hope.
ready.
Yeah.
Popcorn ready.
John Stewart or Michael Jackson. It doesn't matter which one. Just grab your
popcorn ready.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming.
Well, I know what he did to Heather Lappin. It's fun.
I love he said John Stewart, Michael Jackson, popcorn, it's coming. He's referring to like the GIF that people share of them. Okay, I'm going to pull that back up. I paused it and I'm going to hear the discussion. But as far as him talking about Nanos, this came out today as well. Sheriff investigating Nancy Guthrie's disappearance is facing a $1.3 million lawsuit. So let's see what this has to say. Pima County, Arizona, Gray News. The sheriff's office that is investigating the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie is facing an unrelated $1.35 million lawsuit. reports that Christopher Marks, an inmate at Pima County Jail, alleges that his life was put at risk because proper precautions were not taken to prevent the spread of COVID-19 during his time in custody. The lawsuit filed March 5th lists Pima County Sheriff's Department and Sheriff Chris Nanos as defendants. In the complaint, Marks alleges that a deputy traveled back and forth between Marks' unit and another unit where an inmate was quarantined with COVID-19. The complaint alleges the deputy did not use proper sanitation between visits, putting Mark's life at risk. The spokesperson for the sheriff's office told People that Nanos could not comment on pending litigation. Nanos and his department have been in the spotlight since Nancy Guthrie's disappearance February 1st. Nancy is still missing, and officials said they do not have any suspects or person of interest. In a recent interview, NBC, Nanos said he is still hopeful the DNA, which is the mixed DNA, by the way, that was found in Guthrie's home will lead to a suspect. Her children, including the Today Show host Savannah Guthrie, offered $1 million reward. Now, this was also the same Justice Department and jail that Nanos runs, that there was like over 60 deaths in a short term of him.
I have no way of knowing when we will solve this.
This is day 33. Some of these statements. Just to refresh.
We'll solve it.
An optimistic message from Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos on the search for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. But he says the evidence they have right now isn't enough to find the person responsible for her abduction. A month into the investigation of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, the sheriff is speaking on where investigators are now.
He says they're playing the waiting game. 13 News reporter Catherine Patterson joins us live from the
Yes,
Pima
we're
County
all playing
Sheriff's
the same
Department
game.
on Benson Highway.
And Catherine, are they
Because we're all waiting to.
making any headway in the investigation?
No.
Well, Dan Brooke, when I sat down with the sheriff earlier today, he seemed hopeful about finding an answer for the Guthrie family and for the rest of the country, but they're still waiting on that one key piece to make it happen. Nancy Guthrie's home is no longer the crime scene it was last month. The evidence, both physical and digital, has been collected in a jumbled web of what ifs, or what Sheriff Chris
Thank
Nanos
you
says
for handing out
investigators are
drinks,
working on.
Johnny.
That team, joined by a team of FBI investigators, sit down in a room working together every day, every night, every passing minute to try to solve this case.
He tells me some of the evidence the public knows about, like the glove found near the Guthrie home, hasn't been the success story we may have hoped for.
We have to
That's
move
an
on to other
understatement.
pieces of evidence until something leads us back to it.
And those leads are through tips. Nano says they're now hoping for that one person who knows something that could be the key to solving this case.
When that comes,
Hang on, I have to pause it. Just think about the $1 million, which is more than $1 million right now because of the other reward money that FBI is offering. There's over $1 million reward out there, and nothing has surfaced from that. Like, that speaks volumes to me about this whole situation. You know, like, whoever knows it, like, there's somebody out there that knows stuff, but they're probably the ones that did it, so they're not going to come forward. You know what I mean? Like, why hasn't anybody come forward for that money?
to us, then all of your digital evidence can start to make sense. All of your biological evidence, fingerprints, DNA, can start to come together.
Between 88 Crime and the FBI, they've gotten about 50,000 possible leads. So I asked the sheriff. And so with the amount of tips that you have, do you believe that that one tip that you're looking for could just be in the pile right now?
You know, I hope so. I do. I hope so. I don't know that it is. I think there's still more out there.
As the investigation goes into its second month with no arrests, Nano says he's ready for the possible long road ahead, with the faith they'll find justice for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, pushing them forward.
I wish these cases were solved like TV in an hour. It doesn't work that way.
Sheriff Nanos told me there has been no additional search warrants executed at this point. The FBI's reward for anyone with information leading to an arrest is over $1 million, while 88 crimes is $102,500. Reporting live at the Pima County Sheriff's Department, Catherine Patterson, 13 News.
I mean, $1 million reward, and nothing has come from it.
Suspension and all that, because I followed that day. I actually thought she was going to win that.
She would have.
Yeah.
She absolutely would have won if he didn't do that.
Yeah.
That's what he's on top of everything else. He's a horrible fucking human being, and that's more important than all of this.
Yeah, remember we went through some of Sheriff Nano's history? Besides the 60 people who have died in his county jail. Now, people could say, who cares? They're criminals. These are people who were like probably in there from drugs and alcohol related crimes. You know, they're addicts or they were awaiting trial. So innocent until proven guilty. You know what I mean? 60 people dead in a short matter of years in the care of Sheriff Nanos. There was other things too. The FBI years back is investigating him and his office for money, like allocated money or something, overtime, something related to overtime pay. And like pretty much the numbers weren't adding up. It's very bizarre. And then we went down the rabbit hole of the sheriff's office in another stream, their own YouTube channel. And in numerous videos, Sheriff Nanos is, you know, putting on a little acting show like, oh, let's talk about 4th of July safety, blah, blah, blah. And it's all like good PSA information, but it's like he seems to have two different faces, the public face and then what he's doing professionally that's like costing people's lives. It's so bizarre. And also, just looking through your guys' comments, Neat Noodle says, and Diva Girl, interesting. Maybe the people who took Nancy are not as amateur as I originally thought. I don't know. I feel like it's like could go either way because people are like, oh, what about the jammer? And then other experts and tech people that I've even talked to are like, oh, I don't think a jammer was used. It's just very all over the place. And remember when those jammer reports were coming out last week that we discussed? I said, notice how they keep saying like Brian Enton and them like may have used a jammer. It's possible. Like they weren't saying that this was confirmed. Like we need confirmed information. And we don't have like anything. To be fair, I don't think it was so that made a big deal out of the second glove. I think it was the media because it was the only news available. Exactly. Same with the internet jammers. Like it was like, oh wow, yeah, that must have happened. And then experts and even my husband, who's a computer engineer, you know, and he's like, I don't think so. Like, and like he explained this whole thing. I would have him explain it, but he's with the kids right now, and I don't want to put him on the spot, like live on the mic. But pretty much he explained it to me, and I was like, yeah, that's true. Because think about it. If a jammer was going to be used, why would the footage that they gathered of the suspect approaching the door, like why would that even be like able to be looked at? Like it would have to be all misconstrued as well, you know, before they took the footage or the camera off the wall. If they were using a jammer, like you just wouldn't be able to see the guy as he approached to rip it off the wall. You know what I mean? The more reasons than that, but yeah, I don't think the jammers were even used. A neighbor later, Brian Enton interview told him that the strange man walking very close to her house, facing her house, she reported that what she saw to the police. He seemed out of place. Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely possible that this was scoped out for a while in advance. For example, her dog died in December. You know, like dogs are obviously good alert systems. It's just interesting that this happened after the dog died too. Like, did they know that she had a dog? Did they poison the dog? I don't know. I'm thinking so many things. Or did it just happen to die and then the person thought like, oh, this is a good opportunity to strike now, or you know what I mean? I don't know.
He's just ignorant, mean.
Yeah, spiteful.
So this guy used to work in the sheriff's office. Now, we read about Sheriff Nanos, like a lot of leadership issues. He has a hard time keeping people underneath him because of his leadership issues.
Arrogant, egotistical.
They said he's mafioso, like runs the department like a mafia.
He does. So I tell everybody this. I said, this agency is run like it's 1970 New York.
Right.
Like
Old school cop.
It wouldn't surprise me if they stood up there and they drank scotch in their office or something, because that's just a cool thing to do. But it's all about kissing the ring and looking the other way when your people do something horrible / illegal, and then doing what you did to Heather. Heather, you will not find a better person than Heather.
Oh, she's awesome.
And to have 7 IA investigations in 13 months is unheard. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The things that they did to her, and then, like I said, if that doesn't happen, she absolutely wins. Probably not by a lot, but probably by a few thousand votes. There was just enough to sway, because people thought, well, if she's on admin leave, she must have done something wrong.
Yeah.
And she did. If you go back, that's his track record. In a primary 2 elections ago, a former sergeant was running against him. Kevin Kabisky was his name. And the week before the primary, the October surprise, or whenever the primary was Kevin was accused of molesting his stepdaughter. They put that out to the media. So
does Nano? Yeah, go ahead.
The primary goes, Nanos ends up winning, obviously, and then nothing ever happened. Oh no, it was his camp that put it out. It's just who he is. That tells you the kind of person that he is.
Local media, is there people like he have local media in his pocket? Certain local media.
All of them.
That are
all of them. It's disgusting. The only one who wasn't was Chorus Nylander.
Oh yeah,
Chorus held him to
task. He moved to Florida. Wink. Wink?
Oh yeah, Wink News.
Next time you got to meet Chorus.
Okay,
I'm from Florida. And he was, especially around the election time, he was the only one. Like, if you just look at what I think it was either Channel 4 or even the newspaper, they called the error in the resume a clerical error, and they just said, "Oh, no problem here."
I call it out if you're on
so
my
media
page,
here, local media does not call him out. Are they afraid of him? Afraid of access? Afraid of
access. It's access, because he would. Lupita Murillo was his go-to for 20 years, because she went back to Dupnik and all of that, and whatever. I never understood that relationship. Like, I'm going to just tell the police story, we're going to move on. But yeah, so they are hesitant to hold anyone to task, and it's really the same. They're hesitant with everybody, though. It's
Same thing
the county
with the mayor.
attorney. Yeah.
So he's basically saying that Nanos has the local media in his pocket, and that the media won't push on things that he's describing, like mishaps and mistakes that Nanos makes, because then Nanos will cut them off from information, like when they're trying to gather information on a story. And that everyone around him pretty much just deals with him and his mistakes because they want access to, stuff to grow their own journalistic career. You know what I mean? Because he'll if you put something out that's not in favor of him, he's not going to help you get the scoop next time there's a story.
It's a cabal, and it's an entrenched system. And if you think about it, all the elected officials, and I'm not being political, are Democrat except for one. So it's all protecting each other in any way they can.
Yeah.
Right.
And when it comes to just law enforcement in general, it's like, fuck all the other politicians. I don't care about the board or the mayor, but when it's the county attorney and the cops, you can't go down those roads, and they have, and that's what sucks for all of us.
And Laura Conover, I'm not going to go into her because that's a whole nother conversation. But her brother's also a cop, right?
Jason.
And so it's kind of, that's what's so weird to me is that,
Yeah.
So it's a small world here in Tucson.
It is. No press conferences.
You saw the first few, right?
They were disaster.
Exactly.
Every single lie, like each and everything ended up. The first one, not true.
He finally listened when someone told him to stop doing it, I think. Because I'm sure that's what he is in every meeting, though. He just talks in circles. You're like, what the fuck are you even trying to say? That's internally. So none of that was a surprise whatsoever, but it got so bad. like they just had to stop. And then his little press tour of talking to media one at a time was
10
minutes.
Yeah, that's another thing that's weird.
Well,
that, like,
too, yeah.
so now it's just select media, maybe scripted questions,
I'm
you know,
sure,
prearranged
yeah.
softball stuff.
Yep. NBC
or NBC because of Savannah. You know, the exclusive access because he's not speaking to anybody.
No, and I guarantee he's not going to answer anything.
Well, and especially now he's got this other ball game. Do you think that's going to take his attention away from the case, and he's going to be like, you know what, I have.
Let's pause this live discussion and pull up a new article as well. This came out yesterday. Nancy Guthrie blood evidence hints she was wrapped in something, an ex-FBI agent's opinion. The search for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie continues as investigators and forensic experts examine new details tied to her disappearance. Guthrie, the mother of Today co-anchor Savannah Guthrie, has been missing since late January 31st into the 1st of February, but this was after she reportedly was taken out of her home in Tucson, Arizona. Now a retired FBI agent has offered a theory about what the blood evidence outside the residence might suggest. Retired FBI specialist agent Maureen O'Connell recently discussed the case during an appearance on Brian Enton Investigates. She examined the blood evidence found near the front door of Guthrie's home. Based on the visible forensic evidence, O'Connell said she believes it is unlikely Guthrie walked out of her house on her own. I doubt that she walked out, O'Connell said. She explained that investigators typically expect to see interruptions known as voids in blood patterns when someone walks through an area where droplets were fallen. According to an analysis, those voids did not appear to be present in the publicly released photos. You would have a void here from the foot or from another foot or something, she said. There doesn't seem to be any voids. Instead, O'Connell suggests the shape of the blood droplets appear consistent and rounded. In her view, the details could imply that the blood fell straight downward without being disturbed by movement. In my mind, she's wrapped up in something and they're carrying her out. So this is just her opinion. Nancy Guthrie was last seen in her Catalina Foothills home. Reports her daughter Annie Guthrie and son-in-law Tommaso dropped her off that evening. See, this one came out yesterday, and they're including Annie and Tommaso as being together, dropping her off. That's been something that's been flip-flopped. They were together, then it was just Tommaso, and then they changed it to the family dropped her off. Concern grew the next day when a friend reported that Guthrie did not attend their scheduled service for church. Not all experts agree with O'Connell's interpretation. Former FBI profiler Jem Clemente said on the same episode that the droplets do appear to have fallen straight down rather than being cast while moving quickly. However, he questioned whether Guthrie was fully wrapped. If she was wrapped up and she's still spattering blood, then she wasn't wrapped up well, Clemente said. According to him, Guthrie may have been injured while attempting to fight an attacker. Despite the extensive searches and the $1 million reward, the case has produced few confirmed leads. And you know what's interesting is last Friday, so this came out yesterday, Brian Enton's episode came out after last Friday. We talked about the blood droplets last Friday, and I compared them to Paul from the Murdaugh case, Alex Murdaugh case, his son Paul, the droplets there, and the blood expert said that they fell directly down. And I said, those look like what Nancy's looked like. And now there's two profilers basically agreeing with me. What do you know? I guess I'm not that stupid as a stay-at-home mom. But who am I? Let's see. There was something else besides this live chat I wanted to share too. Right. Can we get some clarification? Like, why are things all over the place, like about even who dropped her off? I think this was a call-in I wanted to share. Hold on, let me see.
Former investigator.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Who's this?
You call me Wheezy.
Wheezy. Yeah, we missed your call earlier.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So you're an investigator or a former investigator?
I am retired.
You're retired. All right. Well, thank you for your service. What type of investigator were you?
Let's do a little bit of everything. Criminal, fraud.
So like a private investigator?
No, I did private for a little while, but no, I was in law enforcement.
You're in law enforcement. All right, Wheezy. What's on your mind? Thanks for calling.
Okay, well, thanks for calling me back. Okay, so, you know, the media reported that Nancy went missing on a Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Well, if you want to pull up I don't know if it was the first or second press conference that Nano's had.
You're going to say he said Saturday.
He said Saturday night.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, you know, we've all seen that.
Yes.
Well, if you go to the Pima County Sheriff's Office evidence page, they have the missing report listed as.
And you guys know what she's referring to about the sheriff saying that they went out there. So she was reported missing Sunday. Remember, we were talking about the friend from church. This caller is referring to that.
Those at that time. But it really is about getting our partners out there. To be fair, when we went to that scene the first night, Saturday night, it was just.
Now, a lot of people have been like, oh, he just misspoke. Other people have been like, what does he mean Saturday night? So that's what this caller is referring to. Okay.
Just us. Since then, the FBI and others have asked, can we go and see it as well? And that's what you've been seeing. But it is a very important case to not just me and my team, but this. To be fair, when we went to that scene the first night, Saturday night.
Okay, so just so you guys know what she's referring to. Let me rewind just a minute.
Has money. And, you know, she's elderly. She's an easy target. It could just.
So we called.
Calling about, though? That?
I just called to ask if the information on the webpage was correct, if that was a valid Sheriff's Department webpage, and they confirmed it.
So she's saying that she called to ask like clarification because on the webpage, it also has her as being reported missing on Saturday. So let me just rewind it.
Just 15 minutes of Google searches, I found so many cases where this is happening. Just 15 minutes of Google searches, I found so many cases where this is happening. Not even to celebrities, just people that.
Okay, well, thanks for calling me back. Okay, so, you know, the media reported that Nancy went missing on a Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Well, if you want to pull up I don't know if it was the first or second press conference that Nano's had.
You're going to say he said Saturday.
He said Saturday night.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, you know, we've all seen that.
Yes.
Well, if you go to the Pima County Sheriff's Office evidence page, they have the missing report listed as Saturday night, 7:30 p.m.
They do.
So we called the.
So not only did Nanos misspeak or say it himself, she's saying on the evidence page of the website, they have it as Saturday around 7 p.m. So now she's saying, so we called.
Pima County Sheriff's Department, and they confirmed the validity of the web page.
Who called? You did?
Yes.
You called.
I don't know if it's been corrected since then.
Uh-huh.
I have a screenshot of it if you want me to send it to you. But I don't know if the ongoing misinformation is just careless errors or.
What were you calling about, though? That?
And see, she is saying the same thing that we were saying. Why is there so many errors in information? It's not just social media causing rumors and all this stuff. Like there's been no clarity at all on certain issues in this case. So she's saying that yes, she called to ask about this information.
I just called to ask if the information on the webpage was correct, if that was a valid sheriff's department webpage, and they confirmed it.
You don't think it was a misprint?
I don't know, could be. But here's the thing. All that aside, law enforcement can legally lie to the media.
They can?
Yeah.
I know that. I mean, as you as former law enforcement, I mean, what do they train you? That you're allowed to lie to individuals?
Maybe.
Maybe? Yeah, right? Yeah. No.
But if I were investigating this case, I would start way back before all this with the passing of the dog. I know that might sound crazy, but, when you look at the sequence of events, sometimes
That is something, a detail that we have been honing in on here as well. The sequence of events. She goes on the Today Show, shares so much about their life in Tucson in November. The dog passes in December.
it tells the story. Somebody might have wanted to get that dog out of the way. Who knows? I don't know. That might sound silly, but I think it's worth looking into.
Crazy how we have like similar thoughts.
Though, was the family members' behaviors.
Who in particular? Who in particular?
Annie.
Annie. All right. As a former investigator, what did you see out of Annie's behavior?
When Savannah was talking, and she said that they wanted their mom back so they could celebrate with her, it's like Annie just about lost her breath. Law enforcement can pit family members against family members, and sometimes family members don't know that they're being pitted against the other. So they may have written that script not only for Savannah to say, but they could have also been watching the body language of the other family members. But I think at this point,
but what can they get out of body language? I mean, does that make someone guilty? Body language?
no, but they're going to want to watch.
Yeah.
They're going to want to watch behaviors of the family.
I do think that that is something that they would do. Like the FBI and people who are investigating would want to see like the family together and just, because we've seen them make numerous videos pleading for their mother, etc. They're not just videos for the perp. They're videos for investigators to kind of get a feel for like body language and, just stuff like that might come out in their little footage together.
But I think that, right now we've just got circumstantial evidence, and with circumstantial evidence and no Nancy, there's really not much of a case. That's just my opinion.
So you think they have circumstantial evidence but no direct evidence, and they're not going to pull the trigger on circumstantial without the body?
Correct.
And remember, they still have Annie's vehicle. Annie and Tommaso share a vehicle. They don't have their car back.
If they found the body and they had circumstantial, would they pull the trigger if they felt like someone was involved that they had circumstantial evidence on?
It's possible.
Yeah, no, when it comes to body cases, we hear no body, no case, but obviously that's not true. I mean, they can prosecute without a body, but they would have to have a lot of direct evidence, right?
Right. I think they've known for a while who and how, maybe, but they're still building their case.
But how do you build a case? Like if you're, a month into this and there's no body, how do you continue to build a case?
Yeah, that's the mystery. What's taking so long?
Because usually this would be wrapped up by now, right?
Right.
I mean, when it comes to like, we'll just say family murders and things like that. I mean, case closed really within the first week, right?
Yeah, usually. But, you know, they're going to, you know, of course, they always start with the people closest to the person and the last person that saw them.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, as I've listened to all of this and followed this on different platforms, it just seems like all roads always lead back to the tomato.
Why the tomato?
And tomato is code word for the son-in-law, the person that Ashley Banfield said is the prime suspect.
I don't know. It just seems like that's the way that we all keep going with this.
Last person with.
Celeste case.
So as an investigator, how do you shake
the Celeste case and Summer Wells? That's been years now of them saying, though they're just building a case, they're building a case. Still no arrest, still no suspect.
the trees? How do you ruffle the feathers? How do you make something spark? What would be your tactic?
I think it's all going to hinge on forensics.
Forensics?
That, unless someone confesses, because whoever did this, it's eating at them.
And that's the thing is like forensics. It always comes down to the forensics. If there was no forensics in that car, because the thing is, we're not just looking for DNA and stuff like that in Annie and Tommaso's car, which they still have impounded. We're looking for computer chips that they can read and verify the story that they claim that night, you know, that they dropped her off around 9 something. What was it, 9:45 or something? All that would have to be corroborated with the forensics from the car's like computer, the GPS, etc. So they had, I believe, a Honda CRV.
It is eating with them.
Yeah.
Do you believe the theory that some have discussed about just a random psychopath? We'll say, we use the word parasocial, psychopath, random stalker type of person that's just going at Nan? Do you like that theory?
I think it's a possibility, but not in this case. I don't think so.
The only way that I think that this stalker random type of thing could occur is possibly someone who was obsessed with Savannah, follows Savannah, maybe tried to get her attention on her social media, followed the story that she aired in November with her mother in Arizona, you know what I mean? And then thought, oh my gosh, I'll go to Savannah's house where she grew up in, and then started stalking and then like came up with this plan that way. Like, I wonder if, like, it's not my main theory, but could it be possible that it is like a crazed fan? Maybe. And who thought like, oh, she's going to ignore me. Like, I'll get revenge now. I know where her mother lives. I don't know.
Not in this case. You think
No.
someone very close to Nancy?
Someone associated with Nancy somehow. Yes.
How are they able to elude law enforcement?
Good point, Diva
in reference
Girl.
To no video of any other videos of perp, no video of vehicle, no vehicle, digital stuff.
It all goes back to what I said in the beginning. They can lie to the media that, you know, they may have a ton of evidence. They may have all kinds of videos. They may have text messages, phone calls, emails. I mean, you know, just because they're not releasing it doesn't mean they don't have it.
But if it falls back on Tomato, like you said, then why Savannah side by side with the Tomato guy? Laying flowers.
To me, that appeared very exaggerated. That was another thing that caught my attention, but we'll see.
We shall see. I appreciate the call.
Well, thank you.
And yeah, Diva Girl, that's a good point. Like, they Weird they release the house quick AF, but keep their vehicle. They didn't even have crime scene tape at the house. Long.
It's better, yeah. Because that's honestly, that's way more important for his career than this. This is just,
Okay, so now they're back to talking about Sheriff Nanos.
That is, there's a lot going on there. So.
Yeah. Well, we're all staying tuned.
Hi, how are you? Now we're facing this way. What's going on?
Hi,
What's going
how are
on?
you?
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What's your name? Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure, man. You
Take
gonna
care.
run?
What's that?
Run.
I'm gonna run to my car.
Thanks.
Pay attention though.
Hey, pay attention. Nice. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice.
Thanks for being
What's your
out
name?
here. Joanne.
Hi, Joanne. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Hey,
That
how
was
you doing?
interesting.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Damien, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for being out
That
here.
will be interesting.
No, I was great that you talked.
I should go there. Probably going to.
Yeah.
My
So what brings you out
husband-
here?
I live here.
Oh, you live here.
I live in Sarita.
Live in Sarita.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know.
Mm-mm.
He's spilling the tea.
No, that was great.
This was live like 20 something minutes ago.
Great. That was
We'll watch a little bit of this and then we'll probably close out for the evening.
really great.
That was by chance.
I'll check X also
Huh?
for
No, that was his friend.
updates.
Bob, right? Bob. His name was Bob.
Anyway, we just came by because I've been watching it a lot.
Bring back Bob.
So
BBB.
thought I'd come out here.
Better
and say
Business
hello.
Bro. Bring back Bob. Bob was like, I was speaking.
That was
All right, we're gonna get going.
Thank you. You have a
Thank-
very good day.
You're welcome. Thank you for being out here. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, sun's
You
going
as well.
down. It
I
feels
watch
good
you a
out here.
lot.
Oh, you do?
Yes,
Good.
I found you last year, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when I was watching,
The scanner or the courts or
The
just
courts.
the Facebook?
the courts.
It's good to know who's doing what.
It is. So
That's the main thing. You know how bad crime has gotten here in Tucson. So hopefully, awareness, I think, will bring change.
Yeah.
That's my kind of motto.
Yeah.
Is awareness. The onion is getting peeled open, and now they can address some of the issues that
Yeah.
you know how people ride around Tucson.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming out.
you're welcome. Thank you guys for being out here because no one's here. I said to my family, I said, once the media goes away, this is gonna go away. And
I don't know. It looks like there's some stuff brewing within the Pima County Sheriff's Department next week.
And it seems very much like the media has vanished. I mean, Brian Enton is still reporting. NBC obviously got the interview with the sheriff today, but nobody's out there while they're streaming anymore. Nobody's looking anymore. And I said to one of my moderators, I was like, I feel like they just want us to move on from this story.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation aside. That's big.
Looks like there's going to be some things with unions.
Well, because when he
Maybe
told
no
me you
confidence
need
votes.
100
Maybe it goes to the Board of Commissioners.
I'm gonna go.
Thank you.
Supervisors.
Waiting.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
thank you.
See ya.
Okay.
Because Gutierrez, the congressman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he filed to have the nanos getting thrown out. What's it called? A recall.
Recall.
But you know how many signatures he needs? 122,000 signatures by July. I'm not saying it's impossible.
How many people? That's like 1/4 of the population of this area.
However it is, but I think they need 10%.
20% or something.
So I started thinking, hey, that's going to be hard. But this other route of them going to the Board of Supervisors is going to be more quick, concrete, and he's not going to have to worry about, hey, these signatures weren't validated.
Bob's speaking out.
Oh no,
Bob's speaking out.
He's not the only one.
Bob is speaking out. Interesting.
Hold on.
Fireworks. Get your popcorn.
This came out right when we started our stream, so I'll share it. Haven't watched it yet.
There's been quite a few developments over the last 24 hours. You mentioned it. First of all, reports that the FBI now has images from other cameras on Nancy Guthrie's property. Remember, we first only saw the images in the video from the Google Nest camera right on Nancy's front door. We were wondering, because we knew there were other cameras, one on the side, one in the back near the pool. And we are learning now that the FBI was able to obtain images from those other cameras. But here's the catch. It's not video. It's actually only thumbnail images. So every time motion was detected, apparently a thumbnail image was created, and that is what the FBI has. There's been quite a few developments over.
So that was the latest. This is in front of Nancy's home as of 20 minutes ago.
William Butler, thank you, William Butler. Jackie G.
Thank you for
Thanks so much for
following
everything,
up
Jackie
with me,
G.
though, Diva Girl.
Our Australian friend is back in the house.
I'm going to continue to do the Friday night week updates. Let's see. So, yeah, he's just showing their spot.
Only leaving the tables and the chair. Everything gets cleaned up. This is the course of us eating. But look, ants. Look. Oh, no. Ants are getting to the drinks, the sugary drinks. This was really cool, too.
Can you guys hear me? Sorry about that.
Everyone gets a rock. Everyone gets a rock. It's on the ground. Bagels.
Sorry, guys. I don't know. I saw the warning that my laptop was going to die, and I don't know why I ignored it. My laptop charger was right next to it.
Oh, stones are cool.
Yeah, this is the scene.
Go. I got it.
Okay, so they got another caller.
State I've never been to.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. And what?
Sunset time.
We got a little cloud action.
Yeah, it might be different. Clouds make it radiate in different colors. That's beautiful. Dude, I could just sit here and watch this. This is pretty.
Oopsies. Okay, guys. Yeah, there. Besides that Brian Enton report that I just shared, nothing new on X in regards to Nancy Guthrie. I don't know. I really feel like the media and everyone, law enforcement, they just want us to forget it and move on. I don't know. Maybe they are building the case. Maybe they have stuff and are waiting for the right moment. I don't know. Let me check one more time on X. They keep just reporting that the feds have uncovered more home security cameras. I don't know. Something came out. It says, lead investigator in Nancy Guthrie case, Sheriff Chris Nanos forced to explain fudged resume, leaving first policing job in disgrace. This is New York Post. The Arizona sheriff leading the investigation into Nancy Guthrie's disappearance resigned from his very first policing job to avoid being fired over embarrassing blunders. Posted a resume online that fudged the dates of his employment. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos stepped down from his El Paso Police Department in 1982 after racking up a laundry list of infractions ranging from excessive force, naughty Chris Nanos, to off-duty gambling, to improperly using his siren, and simple tardiness. This is from the Arizona Republic. I reported that. Those missteps, including an allegation that he kicked a suspect in the head so badly they were hospitalized, landed Nanos with 37 days of unpaid leave in the early 80s and resulted in him finally being told to step aside or get canned, according to the outlet. Wow. He took the resignation option, but messed up the dates in his publicly posted resume, which stated he remained with the El Paso department until 1984, 2 years longer than he was there, the local paper reported. The sheriff's office acknowledged the inaccuracy, calling it another missed date, clerical error that had been corrected by Nanos himself, bristled and brushed it off when pressed. That's your urgent request? You sure you don't want to go back to my high school and ask why I got swats from the principal? Good luck with your hit piece, he told the Republic. The resume discrepancy and eyebrow-raising nature of Nanos' department with the El Paso police came as the sheriff has been criticized over the department's search for Nancy, the 84-year-old mother of the Today Show co-host Savannah. Wow, which entered its 5th week with no leads and lots of errors. Nanos has been accused of making confusing and contradictory statements about the case and of leaving the scene of Nancy's kidnapping so unsecure that reporters, that's Brian Enton, and even a pizza delivery man were able to walk up to the front door. The lack of suspects in 5 weeks since Nancy was snatched has also led to criticism. Several persons of interest were questioned, but all were cleared, including a delivery driver who never even heard of the 84-year-old. And the investigators have not identified any real suspects. Wow. But Nanos' career hasn't all been a blunder. He led the investigation into 2011's shooting of Republican Gabby Giffords, an attack that left 6 dead and 13 injured, and has been sheriff of Pima County since 2021 after winning 2 consecutive elections. He also climbed the department's ranks to the spot after joining as a corrections officer in 1984. Wow. Even in El Paso, his first job in law enforcement after joining in 1976, Nanos received accolades such as Officer of the Year for dangerous work as a decoy to bait drug dealers and violent criminals who routinely mugged him. Pima County Sheriff Department backed his leadership in a statement after the resume errors were revealed. Sheriff Nanos has dedicated more than 4 decades to law enforcement and public service throughout his career, blah, 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 blah. So that's interesting. So before he was working where he was at El Paso, and he had excessive force, off-duty gambling, and improper using of his siren as infractions against him. Wow. That's interesting. Huh. Oh, I think it was supposed to, it said REP, I think means representative. My bad if I said Republican. Yeah, no, the representative, Gabby Gifford. But yeah, that's crazy. But I don't know. JLR is just sharing his sunset.
Susan Smith. Susan Smith. You're not that Susan Smith, are you? Gorgeous. Thank you, Susan Smith.
But we'll keep following the updates. Tomorrow night, we'll probably do a Saturday night hangout session, go through some hidden true crime 9-hour stream of madness. Maybe we'll talk about Corey Richins' case. I don't know. The trial is still going on. They have rested, and the defense didn't call any witnesses in the Corey Richins trial. So very interesting. And then Sunday we'll be doing part 3 of our Chris Watts deep dive into the polygraph interview, which we haven't gone through yet on this channel. So we're doing that. And yeah, any more updates for Nancy, you can check out my community page, or I might go live at any given moment with the updates. I know, Neat Noodle. It definitely, I've noticed that about the coverage, that it's much more beautiful than I thought it was. Just the terrain and everywhere that they've been showing, like when they go on searches and stuff. But the tan pants are interesting that were found near Annie's house. I do want to hear more about that. Yeah, exactly. And that, wow, and this is what's in charge. Yep. And yes, some of those things dated back to the 80s, but I have a hard time believing that a cop with things like that on his list of, I don't know. I have to wonder, what is off-duty gambling, though? What does that mean? Laundry list of infractions ranging from excessive force to off-duty gambling to improper using his siren and simple tardiness. And then you heard that guy talking to JLR, like he used to work there. Like he's seen firsthand the lack of leadership. And we've gone through other things in his past too that we've pulled up as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Those tan pants could be anybody's. Seems like everybody in Arizona wears tan pants too, from what I've noticed. I don't know. It's like how everybody in the Northeast has like a North Face jacket or a fleece. But yeah, join me tomorrow night for a more laid back live stream. True crime discussion, but sort of in a laid back mode, Saturday night vibe, I guess we've kind of called it. And then, yeah, Sunday is our Chris Watts deep dives. Yeah, but I'm following this case. I am following the Corey Richins trial. I am following the Epstein stuff, just a lot of rabbit holes. But join me for my streams, which are usually on the weekends. Shorts and videos get uploaded during the week. But yeah, I hope to see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you guys so much for being here. Like the stream, subscribe. If you can hype the stream, that's also appreciated, and a free way to support the channel too.
All right, Nicole. And it is the wrong number.
All right. Let me pull up. Oh, I do still have my outro. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Hopefully I can just report that they've come to a conclusion in this case, because I really hope they do. I don't want this to be a cold case. I don't want this to turn into a Summer Wells missing person case that we never get answers on. It's very frustrating to me. And of course, to probably the families too. So good night, everybody.